Yeah.
Jim, what's the biggest thing that you take away from Game 1 typically?
I think Game 1 is just I think for both teams you really just get a feel for the atmosphere, you know, the details on what both teams are trying to do, both ends of the ball, and you know, whoever is successful, you know, usually comes out with the victory. I think tonight we did that. We still didn't play well. They didn't play well, but you know, it'd be like that. So you watch film and get better. I'm sure they're going to come with adjustments. We make adjustments and then be prepared.
You said you don't think you guys played well. Where do you think that you need to be the most better, I guess?
I think just overall game. You know, we had shots in the first half we missed. This game is a make or miss league. A couple details, scout report details that we messed up on. I think overall just being consistent with it. Like we didn't make shots in that first half, but you know, we just stay away from you know, officials and things that we can't control, and just control what we control, and keep pushing possession by possession. I think we did that.
Wow.
Yeah, so good in transition all season. What did you guys do to kind of slow them down and kind of keep them out of the transition? I think was effective about that.
Which is, you know, a huge key, but I think just you know, for me, for guys that are handling the ball, you know, a lot, Don. I mean, I had 4 turnovers, and I think all of them were like, you know, on me, things that I can control. But I think turnovers is a way that they get out in transition. You know, I think bad shots are another way. I think we got quality shots, and that's going to be huge key for the series. So as long as we can get a quality shot, which I think we're good enough and we can, and not turn the basketball over, which another thing I think we can. You know, we should keep them out of transition, but they predicate on getting out in the open floor and, you know, getting easy buckets.
And then Max, Kenny said, you know, Game 1's about setting the tone. You know, being the aggressor, I think, was kind of the messaging all week for y'all. Just what do you guys feel like you did to sort of establish a tone? And yeah, how did you say this week?
Yeah, I think we did that. I think our starters came out and set the tone early. I think Dean Wade was phenomenal. I thought he did a great job making it tough on Ingram. He's going to score, he's going to get his buckets, but Dean did a hell of a job of setting the tone early defensively, and everybody followed. And then coming out of the half, I thought we started the third quarter really well. So just finding ways to affect the game, and I think everybody was locked in on the game plan and executed it very well.
Chris?
For either one of you guys, what was the key to limiting Brandon Ingram to 1 shot attempt in the second half?
Dean, but I mean, it's a team game defensively. Bi is so good offensively. He gets to a spot, he can raise up, and it's hard. You can't block him once he gets to a spot. So, I think Dean did a great job and did his work before you know, he can get to a spot. So, obviously it's a tough task. Scotty's a tough task, but that's why you got five guys on the floor helping each other out. So, it's not going to be easy at all. But you know, tonight was a good start for us.
James, what stands out to you about Max's impact tonight?
Every night, you know, he don't really care. His game is obviously if he makes shots, and you know, which he's really good at, you know, it's a bonus, and you know, I think everybody sees him. But like the things that, you know, that don't show up on the stat sheet, you know, his communication, he's a dog, you know what I mean? So he impacting games in other ways. You know, whether he makes shots or miss shots, he probably feels like he had a good game or bad game, but he's more impactful for our team in other ways, which, like I said, probably don't show up on the stat sheet. But his communication, him guarding, you know, Bi and the guys' best players, whatever the case may be, you know, he's just an impactful player.
Really? James Donovan with 32 tonight. It's his 9th straight playoff opener with at least 30 points. What's it like having that guy as a teammate that sets the tone early in a series like that?
It's his job. That's what he get paid the big bucks for, you know, like being aggressive and taking shots and doing his thing. And we understand that. So, you know, our job is to just go out there and fulfill the roles and do other things to impact the game. You know, if he got it going, he's going to give you 40, 50, you know what I mean? And so, you know, I think for us, it's just finding other ways that, you know, for me, you know, 10 assists and trying to get more assists, try to get into the paint. Like I said, turning the basketball over when, you know, all those decision-making opportunities were things that I can control. So we got shooting, we got bigs that are versatile, that are athletic. You know, my job is just to get them the ball. So, we all know our role. We play our role, and we give ourselves a chance of winning.
And Max, how big was that run at the end of the second quarter to get into double digits, which seemed to give you guys momentum starting out the second half?
I mean, any run is important. The whole game is a game of runs. It's momentum. Finding a way to get momentum going in each quarter is very important, and we did a good job of that. Just executed well, got stops on the defensive end, and just played our game offensively. So it's going to continue to be on the defensive end, and I think we know that and are ready for it.
Mark?
James, in the playoffs, the game traditionally slowed down, and you guys obviously won the Toronto. I think it was 3 fast break points the whole game. Do you feel like when the game slows down, that kind of plays into your hand and what you do guys?
Yeah, I mean both. Playing fast. Like I feel overall I'm a pretty good decision maker. So me playing fast isn't mean running. I'm running super fast. You know what I mean? It's just maybe speeding the tempo up in my head a little bit on what needs to happen on the offensive end for us to be successful. So like we know, like they get points in transition, and we get a good shot, and we, like I said before, we get a good shot, we get an offensive rebound, it slows their transition down. So our job is to not let them get in transition as much as they want to.
And Max, Kenny said that with James, Harden being a great passer, he delivers it right in the shooting pocket. As a shooter, how much of a difference does it make when the pass is exactly where you want to be able to go for shooting?
Yeah, I mean, it obviously makes a difference. He's been doing this for a very long time. He knows how to help guys be great, and I've experienced it. And he's a phenomenal basketball player. He's one of the best players in the world and ever for a reason. And we're lucky to have him, and he just makes the game easier for everyone else.
Last one, Jimmy.
James, you haven't even been here for the equivalent of the half season yet. You guys just came out and hung almost 130 on a top 5 defense in the NBA game 1. What is, in your vision, when you guys really start to gel, what's the ceiling for this offense?
We'll see. We'll see. We got a long way to go. Like our job is to stay in the moment and take one game at a time. Like Max has been in this postseason for some years now, to where things happen fast. So our job is to focus on what we can do better. Watch film tomorrow and then come out in game 2 and be ready to go. Like, they're going to come back and be more aggressive and be more like, on both ends of the ball. So we gotta hit first, and it's the playoffs.
That's to say, defense wins championships. Offensive ceiling, where does that play into the championship picture? How important is that to a team that wants to win a championship?
Yeah, I mean, you obviously got to score more points than their team to win. So we're going to keep finding ways to affect the game on that end of the floor, but defensively is going to be the key for us, and we understand that, and we're going to keep doing our best on that end of the floor, and that'll also fuel our offense. So we understand what works for us, and we'll just keep trying to execute that as best we can.
Sure.
No one should be talking, keep your eyes on the podium. Yeah. No one should be talking, eyes on podium.